Serenity Funeral Home. We are a family owned and operated funeral home where we offer complete personalized funeral services, leading our community in funeral and cremation services. Make an appointment for your pre-need and at-need arrangements by calling us at 702-647-0123. Once again, that number is 702-647-0123. Serenity Funeral Home, caring for your loved ones as if they're our own.
Chico Sticks, Pickles, Jolly Ranchers, Mary Jane's, Pop Rocks, Lemon Heads. Should I go on? Bitter Honey, Freeze Cups, Candy Cigarettes. Listen, how about you make your way down to the modern day Candy Lady and see all of this and more? Satisfy that sweet tooth Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. at Sight and Sound Candy and more. Follow us on IG at Sight and Sound Candy and on Facebook at Sight and Sound Candy. We are located at 1000 North Martin Luther King on the corner of Washington and MLK. Give us a call, 702-648-4444. Again, that number, 702-648-4444. Thank you.
Broadcasting live from downtown Las Vegas, you're tuned in to Gorilla Cross Radio.
Yo, you tuned in to Gorilla Cross Radio.
Welcome. It's another Saturday, y'all. Let the Ball Bounce Sports Talk Radio is in the building, man. Gorilla Cross Radio. Download the Gorilla Cross app right now to your phone or tablet and get your guys every Saturday, 2 p.m. Pacific Coast time, that is. And 5 p.m. out east. I was out east last week, man. Orlando, Florida. Sort of a business trip that just turned sour. But out there being with my guys, man, you know, just having fun, man. It was cool, man. We went 0-2 in the World Flag Tournament. Just didn't bode well for us, man. But it's okay. It's okay, man. We had fun. We bonded, we fellowship, man. So it was cool, man. All good.
You know, I'm working on something now as the owner of the LV Gridiron Flag League.
Yes.
To where we get the worlds out here.
Because it has been here before.
It used to be here back in the day, in the Bills' day.
Absolutely. It was right here.
Yeah. So I'm working on something right now because we didn't show off too well out there in Orlando. And then
5-man did, but 8-man did not.
And then my team stayed. Well, I played with Ball Hawks last week here in a local tournament.
Okay.
So I'm trying to work on something, man, because we got to represent a little bit better on the world stage.
Absolutely. Yeah. I fully agree, man. Look, man, Bill Logan is in the building, man. What's good, Billy?
Good, bro. Good.
No OT today?
No.
Look, I for one would not be mad at you.
No, if it was
for getting the money.
I think I would have took it.
Absolutely, you would have.
Yeah, no, I was good.
Why not, man?
My 3 days off is
yes.
Yeah. Plus, I gotta be at home tomorrow.
Yeah.
Man. Around 3:30.
Around 3:30.
Why?
There's a showdown.
You don't think I should be at home?
There's a showdown at 3:30
you already
tomorrow.
know what's going to happen. So what's
A game. A game is going to happen.
He's right.
Right?
Just he's correct. There's a game that's going to happen at 3:30 tomorrow.
What, you want me to say something else?
I want you to say the truth.
Oh man.
A game is going to happen.
I feel you.
That's true.
I feel you.
He's right. Yeah. He's right, man. Look, man. Shout out Dre Bailey, man. Doing the girl dad thing out there with his daughter, man, and their volleyball squad, man. So he is absent today. But we got a special guest in the building, man. A guy that as the youngest one at this table, right? Myself, got a chance to see raw and uncut on the basketball court, right? Got a chance to play against him, get bullied as a young jit, and got a chance to play alongside of him and catch a few of those dimes for layups too. Man, we got our guy, man, Mr. Shay Jones in the building. What's good, big bro?
Man, it's good to be here, man. It's good to be with y'all,
Yes,
man.
sir.
And, especially, let me talk about my man, Bill. Being when I became one of the older guys,
Yes.
it was guys like him, Kale,
Yes.
Big Bobby, guys like that. Rest in peace to my man, Greg.
Yeah.
That kind of just showed me, like, this is how you give back. This is how, and it's not necessarily buying jerseys for the team and all that kind of stuff. It's like, pulling you aside and be like, look here, young fella.
Time.
Come here. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
You get in a little scuffle or something. You kick the ball across the park. Like, hey, man, come here.
Yeah.
What you
Let me
doing?
holler at you real quick.
Let me holler at you for a second.
Yeah.
So I've never had a chance to say that to you personally. Steve and I had this conversation. Rest in peace before he passed away.
out, Steve,
but I was never going to text you that or tell you that until I saw you and
Yes,
said that
indeed.
eye to eye. I
appreciate
appreciate
you,
that.
Beautiful
and
thing.
I was able. Fortunately, I feel as though I was able
And
to
it
kind of
was-
pass that on
Sure.
to some young guys.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And on back to you, it was always love when we all got together and played ball or just conversate, man. That's what it's supposed to be about.
Exactly.
No,
Exactly.
no animosity.
Absolutely.
Never.
We
Never.
No
competed
extra
hard
stuff.
though.
Oh, yeah, 'cause you're supposed to.
Yeah.
Because that's the name of the game.
I played with his cousin Leon.
Yeah.
And played against Terry.
Yeah.
So it was fun times, man.
Beautiful thing.
Yeah, them dudes. I got a chance to. Who's older than you, but I got a chance to get really close with Pace Mannion when I was in Arizona, and I used to tell my son when I was a kid, I would see these dudes. These dudes were NBA stars
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
They were NFL stars to me. Like you couldn't tell me no different. And to get an opportunity to get to know these guys and see that, number one, they were just people.
Yeah.
And then that made me kind of put in perspective who I was, that, hey, I'm just a guy. We're not bigger than this world. We're just a part of it.
Sure.
And to be able to take that and give it to young people and see some of those guys now coaching, and I really appreciate that, man. It really shaped and molded who I became, not only just as a player, but as a coach and as a mentor to some young people. So I definitely want to, before we go any further and start to disagree with the stuff that I'm right about and Bill's wrong about, I wanted to make sure he knew that first and foremost.
Yes, indeed.
right in.
Well, look, man. We got an hour to delve into all type of sports, but we have you here, and I remember the first press conference that you actually sat in on. It may have been the first. I'm not certain. It was the first that I got a glimpse because you actually sent me the clip.
Mm-hmm.
How is it working with the UNLV men's squad? I know right now they're in Fresno.
Yeah.
Getting ready to play the Fresno State Bulldogs here at 3:00. How is it, and how has it been working for the UNLV Running Rebels right now?
Well, I'll tell you this. It's first and foremost, anybody who knows me knows that I wear Vegas proudly.
Yes, indeed.
Okay,
Yes, indeed.
I love this place. This neighborhood we're in shaped me. I know where all the bodies are buried.
Yes, sir.
I'm a convention center kid.
Yes, sir.
I watch Robert
That's
Smith.
figuratively, guys. Figuratively.
Yes.
That's all right.
I was right over there watching
Yes,
those
indeed.
games. So
Yes, indeed.
I love this place,
Yes.
and to be around it, and to have the relationship with the players that I have and the coaching staff that I have, it does obviously give me a different insight than a typical fan.
Sure.
But at times it is tough being a coach, having a difference in philosophies at
Yes.
times, agreeing with what is happening and seeing the fans not like it and knowing that this is the best thing. I had a really tough conversation, with Bryce Hamilton's mom last year.
Shout out to Bryce Hamilton,
When
man.
Kevin sat him about some things, and obviously they didn't like it.
Right.
But I told Kevin in the office, I was like, "Yo, that's what he needs. He needs you to be stern.
Yeah.
He doesn't necessarily need you to give him the okay or the green light to do this or do that.
Right.
He just needs, as you look at a child, right, playing by themselves. They climb. As they climb on something, they look at you.
Yeah.
They climb on and they look at you.
Yeah.
They're-
Seeking
they
approval
need you
or
to be-
disapproval.
Yes, they
Yes.
need you to be the adult in the room.
Yeah.
Right. So with Kevin, I saw that as far as a coaching perspective, I saw him maturing in that moment, saying, "Listen, this is what we need, and this is what we need from you. And if you're not going to adhere to it, then hey, come have a seat
Yeah.
with the best
It's a
coach
seat for you.
of all time,
It's a seat for
Coach
you.
Bench.
It's a
The
seat for
best
you.
coach of
No
all
question
time.
about it.
Forget John Wooden and Phil Jackson.
Undefeated.
Coach
The best.
Undefeated.
The best.
He has produced some of the greatest players of all time.
Coach Pine.
Yes.
Coach Pine.
Yes,
the
have him sit.
absolute best, bro.
And he adhered to it, and it also sends a message to everybody else, right?
Yes.
You know, it says, hey, if he got to do it,
Your best guy.
I got to do it.
Come
you
on
know?
now.
So it's tough. Like, you know, I'm in a weird place. You know, I'm media,
Yeah.
but I'm not media.
Gotta put that
You know,
on
I'm
sometimes,
coach
Yeah.
to the guys, but I'm not coach. I'm not your
Right,
coach. It's
right.
kind of like, you know, you're at your friend's house and you know that the kids are wilding out, but the mom and the daddy's here. So like you're looking at them like, yo,
You ain't gonna do nothing.
you know?
So would you say liaison? Would you say liaison?
Liaison. That's a good. That's a good word.
That's a fancy word. That's a word that us as black folks use when you're doing too damn much. It ain't none of your business. Why, what you doing?
I'm just a liaison.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, so you know, and I have some in-depth conversations. You know, as God is my witness, I make sure that I never ever put the kids in a precarious situation where they're, should I listen to Coach Sherry? Should I listen to Kevin? I'm never going to do that. I wouldn't do that to him as a parent, as a coach, as a colleague, as a friend.
Absolutely.
You know, so and sometimes I have to have a tough conversation with a kid and say, listen, this is working a job. And if the boss says you're taking out trash, you have one or two choices. Yeah. Take the trash out or find a new job.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
really that
and
simple.
you know, you may not like going out there and taking the trash out, but if you want to keep your job, you want to take the
You wanna
trash
take the trash out.
You
There you
know,
go.
so
Yeah. Absolutely, man.
but yeah, it's tough at times, but it's rewarding because I remember, you know, as all of us at some point in time probably remember being kids here, and I remember I used to look at the ball boys for UNLV. I used to hate them dudes. I used to be like, man, why is he down there?
Yeah.
Who was his daddy? Like I said,
Who you know?
you talk about Bloods
Yeah.
and Crips. It was me and them ball boys. And I was like, how he look at him giving the ball to Reggie. Reggie know me. I was salty, man.
That's
I was
hilarious.
salty. But
That's
yeah,
funny,
you know,
man.
it's being able to be there and sit in Gucci Row is crazy.
Oh, Gucci
and
Row is nuts.
It's you know,
People
it's-
have no idea what Gucci Row means to us as Vegas natives.
I was
bro.
telling them
Have no
back
idea.
in the day, the game would end,
Yeah.
and the people would still be there for
Still
15
be
minutes.
there.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was
Small
crazy.
party. Small party.
We're down by 4 or 5 points with a minute left. People start leaving.
They gone.
What? I was sitting with Dinon of Gucci, right?
Yeah.
And he says, "Where are they going? There's no traffic to beat. There's only 4,000 people here." You know what I mean? So yeah, it's wild, man.
It's the truth,
wild.
man. Look, man, we're here with Coach Shay Jones, man, UNLV Media /liaison.
There it is.
Yes, man. Yes, man.
Hold up.
Absolutely. Yes,
One
sir.
thing, can we mention?
Yes.
Because I just looked at
Please
Jose and it
do.
reminded me of this. Something that we are both very, very proud of is my man Marvin Coleman is doing an excellent job at Evansville.
Yes,
So
yeah,
happy for that kid, man. He
God
went through a
bless him.
lot last year, and he really, really put his foot to the soil.
Yes.
And he made a way for himself, and I'm extremely proud. And I think as a Vegas kid and a former Rebel, we should all be proud of him.
Absolutely,
We should be
man.
very, very happy for that kid.
I tell people all the time, man, and I was telling people this when I was in college. So we talking 2000, 2001 in that area, right?
Okay.
That Vegas has something to say, man. When we talking about athletes, and I'm talking about across the board, any sports you can think of, Vegas has something to say. The reason why people haven't had anything to say back is because they scared of that 7 mile stretch of road called Las Vegas Boulevard, and they thinking that it's something bigger than what we know that it is.
Yeah.
We got dogs here.
Yeah.
Always have, always
have.
will.
Don't get me starting to talk about the history.
It's not even a debate.
With chips on their shoulders.
Yes, real ones,
Yes.
real
Yes.
ones.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
We got a lot of dogs with chips on their shoulders
Dogs,
because
man.
you know a lot of people don't come here and respect our athletes.
Right.
You know.
Because of that 7 mile stretch of road.
Yeah. you know.
It's tough, man. But you know, when I was in school, of course, you know, Steven Jackson was coming right behind me, and I had some guys on my team from Florida at that time. Frank Gore was the guy, right?
Okay.
And I would tell them, I said, hey man, Steven Jackson just led the Pac-10 at the time in rushing. Man, we don't even know this dude.
You will.
Look him up. Like, just look him up. Watch an Oregon State game.
Yeah.
And here we are, 20 some odd years later. Steven Jackson is on the he's top 20 in rushing all time, and he's on the cusp of being a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
You can argue it. You can argue that he's a Hall of Famer, that he'll get a gold jacket one day. So here we are.
He was a cheat code. Like,
Yeah, no question.
And if you saw him physically in person,
Yes. We worked out together.
Yeah,
Summers.
same here. I mean, we talking about 6'3".
Yeah, dude big.
230, 240.
Yeah, legit.
Yeah.
Rocked up. I mean, not a normal running back. He was
at all.
he was a walking cheat code, especially in college.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
My question to you, Shay, is this, because we talk about the talent that's here in Vegas, right? And we know, I mean, for decades, right?
No doubt.
But we can't keep talent at home. Steven Jackson didn't stay at home.
Sure.
What are we missing today that we didn't have back in the 80s and 90s when we were able to recruit? I mean, Larry Johnson was the JUCO Player of the Year, and we got him here. Stacey Augmon, all them from Pasadena here. But now we can't even keep kids here, and we got the best high school football team in the country.
Yeah. Well,
Asterisk,
you know,
yeah, go ahead.
I think that I think that the biggest thing. It all sounds good until the 12th hour, the 13th hour, when it's like, yo, am I gonna go to Oregon? Am I gonna go to Ohio State? Am I gonna go to Alabama? Or am I going to? I had this conversation with D-Don, and I would love to see DJ here at UNLV, but the reality is, and this is what I said to him, I think it's unfair that we're putting all this pressure on this kid not to come here to play, but to come here and save the program.
And
We've got
completely
to stop
represent.
that.
Yeah,
We've got to
can't do
stop
that.
that. It's like going out on the first date and she start talking about marriage.
See, that's crazy.
Like, come on, man. It's
That's crazy.
ridiculous.
It's insane.
Let's get to that point. Let's organically get to that
Right.
point. And the way you do that is you have to coach up the kids you have. Coach up the kids you have. Win 25 games with the kids you have.
Yep.
And then walk into a living room and say, you know what? This is how we're going to finalize the pieces of this puzzle.
Yep.
You know, we're good at the three, but we need a 3-and-D guy, a guy that can guard 84 feet, a guy that can get out in the passing lanes, finish on the break, knock down the three. We need a guy that can do that. We think you can, young man.
Yeah, it is.
Whether or not you're from Bonanza or whether or not you're from modern day.
Right.
But right now, every time we recruit a kid, we don't recruit just any kid. We recruit the best kid who's going to save the program. So now he's got 2.5 million people looking at him like, are you going to do it for us? That's unfair for any kid, especially a point guard.
Yeah.
I just don't, listen, if he comes to UNLV, that will be the greatest gift that this university has been ever. Not Mendenhall, not Thomas and Mack.
Right.
I'm talking about
Not the
Deion
Fertitta
Thomas
Tennis
Sr.
Center, not none of that.
will be giving Las Vegas the greatest gift imaginable because he is, in my opinion, the best point guard in the nation right now.
And it's crazy because I
Flat out.
haven't gotten a chance to see him play live, but I have seen clips of this dude,
Yeah.
and he's as advertised.
And I would
He's as
say
advertised. Yeah.
the reason why is because now the program is starting to be on the up. They wasn't on the up for a long time, so that's why
Absolutely.
those type of kids weren't able to be mentioned about coming here.
Sure.
But now it's on the up.
Yeah.
Sure.
And Vegas is a growing city.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we might get a baseball team here. We might get an NBA team
Absolutely.
here.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
and so it's going to be a lot of notoriety
Yeah.
when you can get kids to come here. So
Absolutely.
Well, I heard you say something I thought was very profound. You were talking about peaks and valleys of the UNLV program this season. We started off hot and then we on a losing streak. But you said Vegas wants its teams to be at the top, and we don't really support until we get to the top. But the Rebel team right now is exactly where you expected it to be. Explain that a little bit more.
Well, first and foremost, that was 2 weeks ago.
12 and 6 right now. 12 and 6 right now is the record.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Listen, overall that record isn't bad, but you play for your conference, right? Right now they're 1-5 in conference.
Yeah, that
Okay.
sucks.
And if they were to lose today or tomorrow, they're going to be in a hole that's going to be pretty hard to climb out of.
Right.
Now you're going to have to start relying on other teams to fall. You know, there's a kid with a concussion right now for Fresno State. There's another kid with a knee injury right now for Fresno State. So those things, you know, you can put this one in the bag. I think it's going to be good today.
Sure.
You know, but listen, you got to take this one day at a time. And in my opinion, there's only one person that is going to be able to help them get there. Obviously, Kevin plays a big part of that. But it's got to be Jordan McCabe. That's your leader. That's your locker room guy. He knows this system. Whether you like this system or not, I'm not a person that believes some systems are good, some systems are bad. I think some teams execute well and some teams execute bad.
I agree.
I've won a national championship with a system that I've seen teams struggle to win 5 games with. So it isn't the system, it's how well they execute it, right?
Yes.
So Jordan McCabe knows how to run this system better than anybody in their program. I think you put the ball in his hands and you put the leadership on his shoulders. He's willing to do it. I said this before, and it's kind of a controversial statement to make, but as athletes, black athletes, you know this. When the white athlete ain't scared, he's a dog.
Yeah.
He's a dog.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's not out there, I'm more skilled than these guys, and I can this, that. And he's like, I ain't scared of nobody. Right? I'm from Wisconsin.
Yeah. Yes.
Not, I'm from the hood. You know, I know he's like, I'm from Wisconsin, and I ain't scared
From
of
Oshkosh.
nobody. You seen the high school highlights? I ain't scared of nobody. Ain't nobody taking a ball from him. He's very, very comfortable and confident. When he was playing 6 minutes and when he played 35 minutes, he's the same player. So he gives you a picture of consistency that's really important for your team to be successful. Right. The other thing that he brings to the table is that he knows this system. Remember, these guys weren't here last year.
Right.
This is the college version of the Lakers. Everybody's new, right? So this guy knows it. He knows, more importantly, what Kevin wants, right? And Kevin is a mild-mannered, he's not an animated coach like myself, right?
Okay.
So he needs an extension of his personality on the floor to keep them calm and settled.
Yeah.
Shout
Jordan
out
is gonna
Coach
give him
Kruger too. Yeah.
And I think that the other thing is you're putting Keyshawn Gilbert, who should be one of the best on-ball defenders in the country. I mean, I've seen this kid up close and personal, and he is as good as Greg was, as Anderson, Marcus Banks, Greedy Daniels. He's cut from that same cloth.
Wow.
And one thing that he does better than what they did is I've seen this kid defend the ball, get a ball screen at half court, fight over the ball screen, maintain ball pressure. That is one of the most difficult
so
things you can
hard
do as a
to
guard.
do.
Yes, it is.
And he's doing this as a freshman.
That's so
They're coming
hard
off the
to
bench
do.
as a freshman. That's what you got to sign, seal, and deliver him as. You can't try to say, okay, we're going to need you to score. I think you get him to understand that his offense could come from his defense. His confidence will come from his defense. His struggles that he's had recently are because he's not playing well offensively. He's turning the ball over, and he puts too much pressure on himself. If I was that type of a defender, when I took bad shots or had a turnover, I'd be like, so what? I'm going to get it back.
Yeah.
That's where he needs to be mentally. You know what I mean? But he's completely shifted to be the leading scorer or the Batman to the Robin or the Robin to the Batman with Harkless. And when he struggles, you know. So I just think it's a mental thing that they need to get over. And the guy that can get them all together is going to have to be Jordan McCabe. As with most teams, you know, listen, you go get these 7-footers, this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, it's
guard
us.
play. Yeah.
We're the
guard
ones
play,
that's
bro.
going to keep this settled. You know what I mean?
And we talk about it all the time, man, especially come tournament time, come March, when, you know, as they say, when buttholes get tight, right? We always say, in order to win not just your conference, but on into NCAA tournament play, you have to be able to play defense. It's two things. You got to be able to play defense. You got to be able to shoot the three. And that starts in your backcourt.
Yep.
Not even a debate.
Bottom line.
So when you talk about this kid and just how great of a defender he is just that one little click in his mind, that one extra step that he needs to take to really take this ball club over the top.
And,
man,
and I think what propelled this is, if you remember last year in the final game against Wyoming, against Wyoming in the Mountain West Conference tournament, they get down to one play, they double Bryce. Bryce swings the ball to Justin Webster. Webster drives a little bit, kicks it out to a freshman who had only taken 5 or 6 threes on the season. The season is hanging in the balance of it's in his hands, right? And he misses that shot. So when the season ends, what does he say? Our season is over. We're not going to NIT. I missed the 3. So what does he do? He works on the 3, works on the 3, works on the 3. He shows it off in the first couple of games, and the city is, oh my God, he can shoot it.
He was in the lab.
The other. So you know what? He was like, I didn't get this praise as a defender. I'm getting this praise now because I scored 25 points. I'm gonna go over here.
Yeah.
And I think we lost him, and we that's a disservice to that kid. You know, this has nothing to do with Kruger or Spoonhour or anybody. This has to do with Coach Tarkanian. Coach Tarkanian would have never allowed that kid, this city, to take that pressure and put it on that kid to be offensive. He would have continued to talk about his defense every day in practice. He would have talked about his defense. He would have heralded this kid as the best defender that we've ever had here.
True.
So when people would see him, it's I forget my friend says the phrase under promise and over deliver. You know what I mean? So you look at him, he's going to be this great defender, and oh my God, look at him defend. Then he knocks down the shot. You're like, wow.
He's adding that to
what I
that.
mean?
Oh
So,
man!
but he's done it the other way, and I think he just needs to get out of that. And when he gets out of that, I think he'll be okay. And listen, there's a lot of basketball to be played. Guys get hurt. Coaches get fired. All kinds of stuff will happen. They got plenty of games. I think it's going to be difficult, but I always say this: if you're going to play your worst basketball, play it now.
Do it now.
You got to be good in February.
Yes.
You get all the kinks out now because you have to be good in February. You can't slip up.
See, a lot of people don't understand the old Rebels. Greg Anthony was an offensive player when he was in high school.
Yes.
He was averaging 25, 26, 27.
The dog at Rancho. Sure.
What did he do at the UNLV?
Defense.
Won a national championship and went to the NBA.
Yes,
Changed his whole
Changed his
style
whole game.
because
Yes.
that's what the team needed.
Yes.
And that was going to keep him on the court.
Prince Fowler did the
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah.
Sure.
I know. Yeah.
I think to a degree, Stacey Augmon did the exact same thing as well.
That's who I was thinking of.
Coming out of Pasadena, the word from him was he can drop 25 on your head any given night.
Yeah.
But coming to UNLV, he was arguably the best defensive player in the country.
Yes.
What he won it 3 years in a row?
That's
Won 3 years in a row?
Come on now. So I mean, it's a switch that can be flipped, especially for team need.
Yeah.
And again, for this young kid, man, that
But when his
that
team is
switch need to be
sacrificed,
right.
when his team is sacrificed, that's what a lot of people don't understand.
Yeah.
A lot of kids don't understand. And Coach Jones, that's what he's there as a liaison to let some of these kids know that.
Yes.
Dude, you still who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we need
Keep
you
playing
to
your
do-
game. Yes.
We need you to do this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
And all that'll come.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed, man. So all in all, what are your expectations of this team going forward? Where do you see them landing in the Mountain West as a seed and possibly winning it, NCAA tournament, and how far they go? Where do you see this squad? Where about?
I think, first of all, for them as a team, let's just speak solely UNLV.
Sure.
Where they're at right now, first and foremost, Dog's most dangerous when he's backed into a corner.
Yes, he is.
And right now, the
Especially
bottom
a
line is
bully
they
pit.
can't afford to lose game. So you can't worry about who you recruited first. You can't worry about NIL. You can't worry about potential recruits that this kid is. Forget that. You got to look in the eyes of everybody and say, okay, who's ready to go out there and kill somebody?
Absolutely.
You ready? Okay, here's a bat for you. Here's a knife for you. Here's a gun for you.
Right.
Let's go.
Let's get
and
it.
those are the people that you rock with. Okay, and I think a few of them, have shown that. Jordan is one of them. Parkless, he's had some bad moments, this, that, and the other, but at the end of the day, he's a pit bull.
Sure.
And you just put him out there. Just
Sure.
let him figure
I like
it out.
Parkless' game. I
You know
like
what I
his
mean?
game.
I've been a huge fan. I told Sean Watkins and Chancellor Davis, a lot of old Rebels, that this
out
kid,
Chandlo, man.
Keyshawn Hall, he's a matchup nightmare. He in my opinion, is their best offensive guy. He's only a freshman, 6'7", 6'8". He's crafty. He can put it on the floor. He can knock down the jump shot. He can score in traffic, plays well with a defender on his back. You know what I mean? He's got some confidence now. He's going to come into these games next week at home with some confidence, and the fans licking their chops to see him. They've only seen him on TV, right? So we're gonna unveil him to the city here in a few days. So I think that's gonna be good. I think also they're gonna have to get back to just being an Henry defensive team.
Yes.
With Eli not playing, whether or not he's gonna come back is unknown. Hopefully he does. With Eli not playing, that kind of puts them in a situation where they're not as aggressive defensively as they should be. But with him coming back, if he does, they can get back to being defensive.
Gotcha.
I think the way things are looking right now, I think Boise State is not only the best defensive team in the Mountain West, I think they're the best team. Because they don't have one guy that's a great defender, but they have 5 guys that make you do what you don't want to do.
And that's dangerous.
That's the
very
best.
dangerous.
That's the best approach defensively as a coach that you want to take. So I think that you got Boise. No matter what San Diego State's going,
They're there.
they're going to be in
No
it.
doubt about it.
Okay,
Diego
they're
State's
always going to
right
be
there.
in it.
Every
you
time.
know, and then I think that I think the Wyoming team is a mature team and a very well coached team.
Sure.
So you
Watched
know,
them last year.
I'm
yeah,
thinking
they-
you're looking around a 5th seed again. You
Okay.
know, but what could be really good for the Mountain West Conference is if the Mountain West Conference has UNLV win some big game, then it strengthens the Mountain West Conference, and you don't have to just win it to get in. Maybe you can get 3 or 4 teams in, and if they can get to that final day of the Mountain West Conference, I think they can get in.
Yeah.
You know, stranger things have happened.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Not to mention they also have the opportunity to win it.
There you
Yeah.
go. There
You
you,
know?
go, man.
So-
and it's been a while since we've had multiple teams make the NCAA tournament
Yeah.
from the Mountain West. It's
Yeah.
been quite some time.
Yeah,
man.
and I think that this is a year that it could happen. I think you know I think you could conceivably you can get 4 teams in if UNLV wins it.
That's wow. That would be
Probably
big.
3 if they get to the final day.
Sure.
You know what I mean? 3 or 4 to get to the final day. And then also it's contingent upon what happens in the rest of the country.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. All right, man. Look, man, you are live, man, with Let the Ball Bounce Sports Talk, man. We got a caller, man. No? They hung up, man. Couldn't wait,
Lost
man.
the
Call us back, man. Call us back. We love to hear from people. We always say, man, and I know, Shay, you see this on the page, man, where, you know, we get people that got Twitter fingers, man. They like to talk behind the cell phone, man.
Yeah.
But as soon as we offer for them to come here and get behind the mic,
Yeah. Yeah.
they
yeah.
get
On multiple topics.
on multiple topics. Doesn't matter. They get
you choose
They
the
get
topic.
cold feet. They get cold feet.
Yeah.
Ah,
It's the same person that complains, how you missed that shot, this, that, and the other. And I
Yeah.
was like, I would love one moment for them to say, you right there, section 106, come down.
Come
shoot
down
this
here.
free
You know
throw.
what's funny to me? Because you'll see people on the page be like, man, I know I can step on the basketball court and at least get five points and 2 rebounds a game.
That is the worst.
I've always had a problem. I've always had a problem with novice. Novice.
Yeah.
Sitting there and calling a pro athlete trash.
You can't be trash.
How? How is he trash, bro?
Yeah, you can't be
Because he didn't do what you wanted him to
What
do?
you wanted them to do.
trash.
He's human.
Can't
Yeah.
be trash.
Yeah.
I remember
A shot is like Jordan said. There's only 2 things that can happen when you shoot that thing. You're gonna make it or miss it.
You're gonna miss it.
y'all remember Brian Scalabrine, right?
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Styles.
Listening to- yeah.
This experiment that he did, it was classic.
I mean,
loved
he
it.
said,
I
I've
absolutely loved
traveled
that.
the country going to some of the top gyms of ballers, you know, and playing against former D1 players and G League players. And I dominate.
Killed
Now,
them.
And guess what? When I was in the league, I ain't dominate at all.
Yeah.
He was like, so my point is, I'm as close to the greats. I'm closer to the greats than y'all are closer to me
Exactly.
I was amongst the top 350
Yeah.
in this world.
in this world.
Yeah.
And so when you talk about somebody who admittedly was like, I was not a good NBA player,
Right.
but I'm better than
way
almost
better than
anybody
y'all.
in y'all city.
I tell people this all the time. Jamal Smith and I were talking about this.
Shout out Jay Smitty, man.
And we were talking about this. I said, anywhere you go, people are gonna be like, Che Jones, man, that dude, he can shoot it. 200 some threes, and he can shoot it. He can shoot it. I did not shoot well enough to play in the NBA.
That's just how
Okay.
good they are.
59%. 59% my junior year.
You know who else could shoot?
Amazing, bro.
You know who else could shoot and had
Sheesh.
game and never touched the floor hardly at UNLV? Swade Watkins.
Listen.
That dude could play,
Let me
man.
tell you something. Let me give you a story. I'll tell the story. He's so tired of me telling this story. Let me tell you this story. So we're at the North and South Gym.
Yes,
UNLV.
indeed.
This is
Yes,
like
indeed.
80.
Classic.
89. This is like 89, right? I'm coming down on the break and he's running here. He's like, yo. So I see him coming. I go to the left and with the left hand, I throw a lob, right? And the lob is kind of like, it doesn't get to the side of the rim. This dude jumps up and catches it and turns it.
Yes.
Dunks
Are
it in
you
the front of the rim.
serious?
Yes.
Come on, man.
Dunks it in the front of the rim.
Stop.
That was the
Yes.
first time I ever seen somebody
Stop
dunk
that.
Yes.
backwards on the lob.
Stop that.
Sean
played-
Watkins could jump higher
Yes.
than Anderson Hunt.
Yes.
Stop it.
And he and Anderson Hunt used to go at it every day in
And
practice.
I played with that dude so much.
Wow.
At
Black
UNLV,
Suede, baby.
At UNLV, in leagues.
Yes.
You know, and I'm like, and I'm looking at this dude's game, and I'm like,
Why is he not getting in the game?
But to your point, like you said,
Hey, man.
I could play, but I just wasn't good enough to get on the floor.
That level is
on that
another level, man.
Because playing like pickup ball or in leagues,
monster.
man, Suede was a boy.
Monster.
He ever set the screen for you and slap his leg?
Yeah.
So listen, that's what I teach my players. And I told him, I said, man, you with me everywhere I go. I still teach my players that. That's from him.
Yep.
That's from him.
That's amazing.
Yeah, man, he could flat out go, man.
Yes.
He could go. He's one of those guys that if he didn't go to UNLV, he could have gone to Long Beach State and been a 3-year starter. He could have gone to a lot of places and played. He sacrificed his own thing for the team, and he got the opportunity that, and listen, he loved the place. He's still here.
Yeah,
I was just with him the other night at the game.
here.
They honored those guys at halftime.
Wow.
And but yeah, you're right, man.
Yeah.
He could do it, man. He could
And
do
I used
it.
to always wonder, I'm like, he's on the team with Greg Anderson Hunt.
Yeah.
He don't get no burn.
Yeah.
Because he's on the team with Greg
and Anderson Hunt.
But I remember playing with him, and I was thinking to myself, "Oh, he'll probably start over Greg because he was so good."
Yeah.
But I didn't realize how much Greg got better
Yeah.
when he left Rancho and got to, by the time he got to UNLV.
Sure.
You
No
know,
doubt about it.
crazy.
Absolutely, man. Look, man, you are live, man. We'll let the ball bounce. Sports talk, man, right here, man. We got our guy, man, Shay Jones in the building, man. UNLV media / liaison. I'm gonna have so much fun with that, man. I promise you, man. Look,
funny.
man, just to let you know, man, we are super uber proud of you, man. We love what you are doing. Like I said, man, when you sent me that first clip and I heard you go with those questions, bro, I was like, yo, that's dope right there, man. Just to see this dude in a different element, man, in a different light, man. So I
Not
want to
yelling.
say, as your junior,
Yeah,
I'm proud of you, bro.
Thank you, man. I
Big
appreciate
time,
it.
man.
I always say Vegas love is the most important.
Oh
love in
man,
the
no
world to me,
question,
man. For
bro.
real,
We
for real.
have to do it, man.
And another thing I want to say, because, being a Vegas native like
Yes,
I
sir.
am, man, shout out to your mom, still doing it.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
Oh yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
Shout out to
yes.
Miss Cunningham,
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
doing it
Yeah.
on 88.1.
Making it happen,
Yes,
man. Yes,
yes,
indeed,
yes.
bro.
Bringing the
And,
community together.
It's
Yep.
funny because all the Cunninghams, that's where the athleticism comes
Yes.
from. But
Okay.
now when I get to the other side and I talk on this mic, it was like, yeah, that's where that came from.
Yeah.
There ain't no question. That's where that
No
came
question
from.
about it, man. Absolutely, man. Well, look, man, let's delve into some NBA, man.
We got an injury though
Uh-oh.
in this game.
Uh-oh.
Patrick Mahomes is out on the ankle.
Are you
injury.
kidding me?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
But they're
Didn't
winning.
see that. They're up 17-7 right now.
He's had a foot injury throughout his career, so
They say questionable to return.
Well, we just saw him standing up looking on the iPad, so I don't know what that means exactly.
I would have
but-
expected my sons, the light skin coalition would have sent me a 911 man down.
Hey, he went
Sending
out
out
an
a
SOS for the light skins,
Yeah.
man. Yes, indeed, man. But let's dive into some NBA, man. Right now, let's start in the East, man. Who do you like right now? Top 3 teams in the Eastern Conference, man, in your opinion, right now. Not necessarily where they're placed,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
just looking at the team aspect of things. Who do you like in the Eastern Conference?
Right now Milwaukee is always gonna be,
Sure,
that's a given.
absolutely.
I'll be honest with you. I like. I really like Brooklyn. I really like. Listen,
Playing well,
I can
bro.
watch. Let
They
me tell you
are.
something.
Scary ball club, and this is
Yeah.
not to cut you off.
Yeah.
But this is so funny because they're keeping pace right now. They went on a little skid, but they won their last 2.
they had won 12 in a row.
They had
one
won
point.
12 at one
okay.
point. So one. Okay, got you.
Okay.
But the way Kyrie looked the other night, dropping 48, I believe it was last night. It's scary to see when Kevin Durant comes back to that ball club, man.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
and
That's just what I was about
I
to say.
sit around and I watch people absolutely dog Kevin Durant for no reason at all. For no reason other than going to a team and winning not 1 but 2 championships and being an integral part of those championships. And if anybody watched those series, if they don't have them, they probably lose. But that's another
Yeah.
topic for another
Yeah.
day. But when this dude comes back, it's gonna be real scary in the Eastern Conference, bro. The Brooklyn Nets will be a problem.
Kyrie hasn't been able to play at an optimum level consistently with anybody for the last few years. I could watch Kyrie
All day long.
I could watch him handle the ball
all day long.
I could have my mama out there defending him, and I'd be still rooting for him. Like it's what he can do.
Knowing mama finna get worked. You know mama about to get that work.
Slide your feet.
Play this with your feet, not your head, mama.
Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like them, and I think the other one, it's you know, I like defensively and offensively the combination of what Boston can do.
Sure.
And then you got to say Atlanta, man. I think, you know, anytime a guard can just go get buckets,
No doubt.
you in the game.
No question.
You're in the game.
And they got two of
You know,
them.
and I think, you know, you know, Memphis is going to be great. Every Sports Center, they're going to be on Sports Center,
Yeah, they
but
are.
they're not going to be playing in June.
Don't tell that to Dylan Brooks.
It's funny that you say
I'll
that.
tell him in Scottsdale when I see him, like last time I saw him at the gym while the playoffs is going
Look,
on.
it's funny that you say that because now we switched to the West. Right now Memphis is pretty much head and shoulders above everybody. I think they got maybe a 5-6 game lead over second place if I'm not mistaken. So I like that team though. I like the grittiness of the squad, bro. I truly do.
Yeah.
But now you got me thinking.
It's like a Jordan Clarkson square up. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen?
What is he? 0-4?
He always ready to throw the deuce up, though.
Why, bro?
He don't ever swing.
Why?
But he always
Take your braids out the headband,
fights,
first of all.
4 fights, not even a flinch. Are
You kidding me?
Nothing.
No.
He said a Jordan Clarkson square up
Yeah, that's not
equals
it's
the
not done.
Memphis Grizzlies.
It's not.
Wow, I didn't think about that.
Listen, the 2 best dunks of the season. One, I think, maybe one of the greatest top 10 dunks of all time are Memphis.
John Morant.
Yes.
No doubt. No doubt.
They ain't gonna win no damn playoff game.
Wow.
Vince Carter wasn't winning games because of dunks.
Right.
I love it, but that ain't gonna. Wow, that ain't gonna win nothing.
That's interesting. I really, really like that squad.
I do too.
And I happen to think
Usher likes him. He's always at the game. You see Usher at the games all the time. Why is Usher always at the game? Man? He's gonna fight the other
this
night.
is the thing. This is the thing. And they they dead on, bro. But it's funny, a lot of people don't know. Usher is actually from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That's his
He
daddy.
claims Atlanta.
That's his daddy.
He's from Chattanooga.
That's his daddy.
It might be his daddy. Yeah.
That's his daddy.
It might be his daddy.
Right.
Confess
Right.
your
Because he
sins.
does not look like John Morant.
He don't look anything like John Morant.
gosh,
He look
John,
like
that is
Usher.
terrible.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
terrible, bro. He looked exactly
Yeah.
like Usher Raymond, bro.
Yes.
That's crazy. Wow.
I was like, the first time I saw him though, I was watching the game and they were he was sitting next to some celebrity, I don't know who it was, and when they had the camera on that celebrity, and I thought to myself, damn, they ain't show Usher no love, you know, they just showed him. You could see him on the side. I was like, damn, they must not have known that was Usher,
Right.
And it was probably about a month later I realized that was his dad. I was like, man,
Man,
and I
dead
put the
on.
pictures, and then they met. Did you see when they met?
Yes. Yes.
Crazy. Like the Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That is terrible, bro.
Hey, it was just like
Unreal.
you know what we used to call Bill back in the day.
What they used to call
Full
it.
force, baby.
Wow.
Full force.
Full force.
Go back
Love
and
is so
go. Every time whether it's house party
Yeah.
or
And Bill played basketball. Hold up. Bill played basketball like how they secured the campus on House Party 2. Yeah. Ball.
Man, so many
jokes,
man. The jokes,
so many dudes come up and tell me that.
Oh, man, that is
I'm
terrible.
like, man, what
All
is
you
that?
needed was the gold chains.
Bill
and
had the curly top though.
Yeah.
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 Hey, look, this is the thing. This is the thing.
Oh,
Bill was always cool, like love, like.
Yeah.
But I remember one day he got mad. I don't know who he got mad at. And I remember him slamming the ball like that.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking to myself, damn, he's strong. He's really strong. I was like, damn.
Man, I used to.
You need to be that strong for basketball like this.
Full force. That's
Unnecessarily strong.
On the
Full force,
Saturday
man.
morning.
hilarious, bro.
Yep.
Outside, I see the rain is pouring.
Hold up. Speaking of that, did y'all know there's
Oh, is this the dunk?
an all cried out? Did you know there's an all cried out remix?
With who?
Allure and
Yeah, and 112.
and
Are you
112.
serious right now?
Years
It's
ago,
terrible.
though.
like a
It was in
remake?
'97.
Yeah, years
wow.
ago.
Yeah,
97.
I got to get to that, man.
It
I was
didn't
like,
do
it's
it
terrible.
justice.
I gotta
It didn't
see
do
that.
it justice.
Man, I was like,
gotta
what?
see that, man.
What?
That's why nobody know about it.
That's why
I gotta
nobody
see
know
it.
about it.
Wow.
I heard it and I
But
was
you
like,
know,
yo.
I'll go on YouTube and find a lot of remixes that a lot of people didn't know.
Mhm.
It's a lot of remixes
Sure.
Yeah.
on songs. You're like, wow, they made a remix. Okay.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad. And they try
That's
to
crazy.
put their own little thing. I was like,
Yeah,
listen, man,
yeah,
leave it
it
alone.
wasn't-
Man.
yeah,
just let
it
it be
wasn't
what
no
it
good.
is.
It
You know?
wasn't no good.
Yeah.
So we know you don't like Memphis.
It's not
So
that
what
I
it-
don't like them, but we're talking championship basketball.
Yes,
And they're
absolutely.
not in the conversation. They're not in the conversation.
Okay.
They're just not ready.
But
Okay,
who
we'll
is in
bookmark
the
that.
West? Because it's
Let's
so compact.
It really truly is right now, and this is, and I cannot believe that I'm even saying this. Right now, the Los Angeles Lakers are in 13th in the Western Conference, 6 games out of 6th. That's the weirdest thing in the world, brother. Look, man.
Now, but I'll tell you this, and this is what I was saying about the Mountain West Conference a couple weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
is that sometimes that isn't an indication that things are bad. It's an indication that there's a lot of parity.
Yeah.
Sure.
Parity.
Okay.
Sure.
So teams
Sure.
are beating up on one another.
Got you.
And then you look up and here you get to the finals and you realize that the teams on in the Western Conference, they've went 6 games, 7 games, 6 games, 7 games. And then Boston and those teams 3-1, 4-0.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're dominating over
Yeah.
there and these teams have parity.
Yeah.
So, you know, it isn't always as bad as it looks.
Sure.
You know.
I don't think a team in the West can beat the top 3 teams in the East. Milwaukee, Boston, and Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're the best 3 teams in
What
the
about
NBA.
Philly?
Philly's they're too up and down.
Yeah, they're too
Because they're-
reliant.
because they're right
Isn't as
there.
dominant as-
Like record wise, we talk about them before we talk about Brooklyn. But again, we said, how do teams look versus what their record is telling you? Because people say it all the time. Your record, you are what your record says you are. I don't necessarily subscribe to that.
You can't be reliant on
Wholeheartedly,
the big.
especially in basketball. I don't subscribe to that, bro. If I can be better than you for a certain amount of time, my record then is null and void. What happened in the regular, that's null and void. Doesn't
Don't mean
matter.
anything. We're all
so,
0-0.
Exactly.
I don't think teams can consistently win if you're reliant on a big. The last time a team was relying on a big
been
and
a
that
long
big
time.
fell off and they won a championship, you may not even been born yet. That's when Magic Johnson won it for the
right,
Lakers.
yeah.
Like you cannot rely on a big. And
Can
they
you say
rely
Shaq
too
to
much.
a certain extent when he won in Miami
played with
06?
Kobe.
No, in 06 when he played with Miami.
D-Wade.
What I'm saying, because he fell off though.
Yeah.
Because I don't think a lot of people
Listen.
really understand just how bad Shaq was in those playoffs.
But this is the difference.
2006.
This is the difference. I used to always say this back in the day. Kobe was unstoppable.
No doubt.
But Shaquille could not be stopped. There's
At all.
nothing
At
you
all.
could
Yes.
do
Nothing.
if he got the ball in the paint.
Nothing.
Yeah.
That's why they just fouled him.
You're at his
right?
mercy.
So even when he was playing bad, the fact that he's on the floor
Yes.
is like Steph Curry with a boot on.
True.
And he at the
You
three-point
got to
line.
check for him.
You better go
Doesn't
out
matter.
there.
You better
I
go
don't
out
care.
there. You better go out there.
His right hand is broken, so he's shooting left-handed threes.
You better go
still
out
gonna
there.
Go out there. Yeah, you
Yeah.
gonna go out there.
You better close
Yeah.
out.
You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I think that Philly just they're so reliant. They play as Joel Embiid goes,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I think that James Harden's days of just dominating the ball and taking every shot
Yeah.
that's in the past,
yeah.
you know, they really haven't figured out how to use the rest of those pieces,
Mm-hmm.
and they're still going through Embiid. I think that they've handcuffed themselves and are limited in what it is that they can do.
What you think about the Denver Nuggets?
They're too banged up if that's the word, because Jamal Murray still is quality, but he's not as dominant as he
100%.
was a
As he
couple
was in the
years
bubble.
ago.
No. Yeah.
Michael Porter Jr. still hasn't, and
Ain't turned the
I took a
corner
loss
yet.
on that one because I thought that outside of Luka and Trey, he was going to be the best out of that draft class, and between his injuries,
sensitive.
he
He
just
sensitive.
yeah.
He took things too personal. He was like, I should get the ball and all that. He was an AAU player with pros.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can't do
Yes.
that.
And they caved and they brought him in, but he still got the same attitude that he had before.
See, yeah, you can't.
He's
do
not
that.
buying in.
Entitled.
Do that.
Yeah, he's not buying in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I listen, I'm not one for that. I think that's the problem. I think they'd be much better off if they got rid of him. If they got rid of him and they brought in just, you know, like the kid Mikal over at Phoenix, a kid like that. We'll play some defense, knock down some shots, and whatever y'all want me to do, I'm here for it, coach.
And that's the problem because they brought in Aaron Gordon and is it Aaron Gordon?
Yeah,
Aaron Gordon.
Yeah, from
And
Orlando.
that took Michael Porter's
minutes.
minutes. So it wasn't a good construct. You're right.
Yeah,
They
he
got
just
to
isn't
ship
mentally
him.
tough enough.
Mhm.
I don't think he's mentally tough enough to accept the role that he should be accepting.
Right.
You know what I mean? They need a guy like a CJ McCollum type mentality. A guy that's like, what do you need me to do?
Right.
I got you.
Got you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And but he's not that. He's a guy that, you know, and that's what I love about that. Off subject. That's what I love about DeJounte Murray.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Plays
what I
off
love
trade
about him.
very,
He's
very
a
well,
dog.
bro.
He's a cat from the
Yeah.
hood,
Yeah.
but he's also willing to work like that little fat kid trying to make JV.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Absolutely.
I love
When
it.
when Atlanta traded for him, it didn't fit. Because you already got a ball dominant guard in Trae Young, and then now you bring DeJounte, who's a all-star PG as well too. And how's he gonna take that backseat? But he took it well.
Yeah.
And
Because he's a dog, he want to win.
Yeah, sure.
He want to win. What I got to do to win?
Yeah.
I love dudes like that, man. I love dudes like
Absolutely. Gotta love that, man. Look, man, let's move on over to the NFL, man. We got one divisional round game going on right now. Right now, the Chiefs lead at halftime, 17-10. This is a lot closer than I imagined it would be. Not going to even lie to you. I expected the Chiefs to absolutely run away with this game in the first half, 21-0, get off the sticks. That's what I expected, especially being at home, coming off with rest. I did not expect it to be a one-score game. We just mentioned earlier that Patrick Mahomes has a foot issue. He's running gingerly back out of the locker room right now, or into the locker room now. Not sure. We gotta take a look at that going forward in this next 30 minutes of the ball game. Again, I fully expect the Chiefs to win this ball game. What say
If
you?
he's not coming back, that's gonna be an issue.
That's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
That's gonna be an issue.
I actually thought that this could be an upset because for some reason, KC, as dominant as they are, they play down to their competition. Or if they're playing a Buffalo, they play up to it, right?
Yeah.
But remember last year, it was at this point where, and going back 2 years ago, where they took Tennessee lightly and had to come back in the division round.
Yeah.
Last year, they took Cincinnati lightly. Nobody was expecting Cincinnati to go as far as they did last year.
Right.
But it's because they got past KC. KC just they play with an arrogance and a cockiness, which they got the talent to. They got the best quarterback in the NFL to
No
do
doubt.
so. But they play down to their competition. The weather isn't good, and I mean I know that this is a crazy stat. It isn't very relevant, but Trevor Lawrence has never lost on a Saturday, high school, college, or pros, right?
Get out
But
of here.
No,
never in
this
his
is
in his
wild.
life.
I'm a Florida State fan. We're Florida State fans. We watched Trevor Lawrence carve us up
Every
for 3 years.
Saturdays.
Every
Man,
Saturday.
those kind of silly stats,
watched it,
they,
bro.
they matter,
It's
man.
great. It's
Because
wild, ain't it?
And this is a team. The one thing about Jacksonville, if you think about the way they're constructed, one, you got like a Christian Kirk, a Marvin Jones, a Zay Jones at receiver. All of these were second or third
Yeah.
receivers
Yeah.
on their other squads
Yeah.
that felt like I'm not getting a shot, and I'm as good as my starter
Sure.
is. So let me go over here and make a name for them.
And they're all together now.
They're all
It's
together.
crazy.
So they're a team full of chips on their shoulder. Doesn't mean they're gonna win, but they're not gonna just get blown out of this game.
No.
Yeah.
No. About you, Bill? What you think?
No, I mean, I see Kansas City pretty much winning this game as well. But if there's no Patrick Mahomes coming back,
That's gonna be a
problem,
problem. It's gonna be an
man.
issue.
Because man, the Jaguars, they can.
They teeing off now.
You can
I'm
already
the DC,
tell
I'm teeing
if
off.
they start getting momentum,
I'm
they
teeing
just
off.
take off with
I'm
their
teeing
momentum.
off.
Yeah.
Peel your ears back. I'm teeing
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
I don't care if Patrick Mahomes is not taking snaps. I'm gonna make whoever is feel all 11 men.
Yeah.
That's just what I have to do,
Who's
bro.
backing up? Is it Chase Daniels?
No, it's
Wow.
not Chase Daniels.
Chad Henne.
Chad Henne.
Chad Henne,
Oh,
Chad
it could get
Henne.
ugly.
Yep.
It could get ugly.
I hate Michigan.
Yeah, we know. We know.
Just I'm contractually
H.
obligated to say that every time I hear somebody
of
from
course
Michigan.
you are.
But I think that's
Tom
a
Brady.
great. Oh God. I hate it.
That was an easy one, right?
But
Oh man,
Giselle's a Buckeye at heart.
There you-
Hey, so look, I think that's a great point that Bill made. I think that's a great point that Bill made. So that begs the question: who is the most important person to their team right now in the NFL?
It's no doubt it's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
It's no doubt.
He doesn't have a Klay Thompson.
No, he doesn't have any.
You know what I mean? Like
he's the most important person.
yeah,
bro.
he doesn't have a Marcus Smart or a Kevin Durant.
No,
Yes.
no.
It's him.
No,
I agree.
He's
You
not
know?
if he's not taking snaps in the second half, and it's Chad Henne.
It's gonna be bad.
Oh my!
And they already don't have a dominant running game either to lean on.
And it's crazy, man, that we can even say that with football being the ultimate team game where you have to work together as a unit in all three phases. I'm talking run game with the O-line, pass game with the O-line, receivers with the quarterbacks, running backs with the O-line, running backs with the quarterback. Like all of that has to be in sync.
Yeah.
And we're saying one dude
But
can make it
think that-
catastrophic.
I think that
Yeah.
I think that's a testament to just
How good he is.
how like I remember I used to say this about Lil Wayne. I was like, he's underrated.
Mm-hmm.
People are like, what are you talking about? He's number one.
right.
But he's like, you really don't get what it is
How
that he's
talented.
doing.
Yeah, it's pretty
Like,
good.
you know what I mean?
pretty good, man.
And that's what Patrick Mahomes is. I think that mentality is systemic across the entire league in college football as well.
Sure.
But very seldom is a guy so good and so unpredictable with his consistency that what do you do?
Yeah.
Like he's
I agree.
done stuff that you haven't done since we played.
Yeah.
What's the politically correct term for that game that y'all used to play in the hood? That
Kill
the
the
man.
Kill man.
Kill
Kill
the
man.
man.
Three flies up.
yeah.
Call it three flies up.
Yeah.
I'm older. We was
Kill a man,
somebody.
three flies up.
Smear somebody.
Yeah.
Kill the man.
Yeah,
Kill
you
the
can't say
man.
that no more. But yeah, like he does that type of stuff you see.
Those are highlights. Those are highlights.
So let's move on, man. We can get through these next three games quick. 5 minutes left, 4 minutes left. Giants at Eagles.
Eagles.
I'm calling the upset.
Would you say Eagles?
Oh, I just heard Bill say he calling the upset.
Yeah,
and I lean
Calling
back
the
like
upset.
that Joe.
I'm calling the upset.
You believing in Daniel Jones?
Wow.
I'm believing in Saquon Barkley.
And this is
I'm believing in Saquon
here's
Barkley.
the thing, bro. Like the Eagles have played pretty decent football for the season. We can agree. They played pretty decent, right? But I don't remember us at any time during the season saying, I don't want to face the Eagles when it's time. I don't ever remember
Yeah, it's kinda
anybody
like, when are
saying
they gonna
that.
lose type of a mentality. Yeah.
Like nobody's ever said that.
Yeah.
All season long, I haven't heard it.
They don't have a real weakness. They don't have a weak link on their team, offensively or defensively.
Offensively, they don't. But it's like it's like they got a vulnerability. You just can't put your finger on it.
Yeah.
type
because
thing.
we haven't seen Jalen Hurts actually do anything before.
Sure.
And I think that's probably it because their
That could be it.
cornerbacks are stellar. Their receivers are stellar. O-line, D-line. But we never seen, because we came into the season doubting Jalen Hurts.
Sure.
Was he going to get extended?
Right.
I think that's it. But he was the leading candidate for MVP before he
Sure.
got injured.
No doubt.
So
No question about it. No doubt about it. I'm going to stick with my pick and go Eagles. But Billy, you might be on to something, brother.
Yeah,
I'm not going to even lie to you. But I'm going to stick with my pick, though. I'm going to stick with my pick. Bengals at Bills. This might be the best game of this weekend, bro.
I'm
This
calling
might
for
be
the Bengals to win.
This might be the
that
best
game.
game. This might be the best game of the weekend, bro.
Yeah.
This could be the best game of the weekend.
I think that the injury to Hamlin and they have now, since the Cowboys just don't want to be, I think they have become America's team. There's nobody that is anti-Bills right now. except for the people
Of
that are
course.
going to be at Riverfront.
Of course.
Right? You know what I mean? So like it's like this. I think that with that injury and that energy, I've won championships, and every team that I won a championship, I can tell you that thing that just got us like
Yes.
that. Like, you know what I mean? And there's nothing bigger than this.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And I think the disadvantage that Cincinnati has is that Cincinnati and their fans were also on their side.
Sure.
Like, you know what I mean?
Sure.
So there's no leverage whatsoever.
Sure.
It's just all Buffalo's way. And I think Buffalo's going to ride this right into Phoenix, into Glendale.
I like the Bengals too, bro. I ain't gonna lie to
I'm
you,
telling
bro.
you.
I like
and
them,
I do
G.
too. And I
do.
think Buffalo's a better team.
Yes.
And I agree with what you're saying. There's an emotional connection there. But Buffalo been playing with fire all season. They barely beat Miami's third string quarterback last week.
Yeah.
It's
But they
just
beat 'em.
something that they're missing though.
Man.
when it comes playoff time, I don't care how we win. Let's just win.
Just win.
You know,
Yeah.
it would be terrible for the basketball guy to get this right. But what was the next question?
So we all got the Bengals.
I got the Bengals.
Wow.
I got the Bengals.
And of course, the finale. Cowboys at 49ers. What you thinking?
I'm thinking how much I loved Jerry Rice when I was young. So I'm gonna say the 49ers. But my disdain for a certain person and his hatred for the Cowboys kind of make me want to go with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really torn on this. I'm really, because I would love for them to win just so he could, you know, feel it. You know what I mean? And they got a Buckeye over there. So, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Well, the Niners got Buckeyes. What do
Yeah, we got a few. It's a few over there.
Yeah,
over there.
but
Nick
he,
Bosa
he,
over there.
ain't, he ain't
Bosa.
with us.
I see. You're right. He definitely ain't with us.
And I love him, but he broke
definitely
my
ain't.
heart. Fredo, you broke my heart.
Give him the kiss of death.
Yeah, man. That didn't set too well with me. So
Yes, indeed. Billy? Of course.
You know who he want to go with the
Of
Niners.
course.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead. You can say it.
Cowboys, man.
You can say it.
Look, man,
Cowboys.
I got gang, man, going away.
Gang, yeah.
Actually, man, 34-21 is the final score that I have.
Mr. Irrelevant's going to be the Cowboys.
I
You
swear
heard
to
it
God.
here.
Look, man, what a show, bro.
Billy, you going to wear that Niner cap next
I'm
week?
not wearing that heavy thing no more.
For y'all that missed that, man, you missed the treat, man. You missed
That
the
thing
treat.
hurt my neck.
Look, man, we got Coach Shay Jones in the building, man. We appreciate you, big bro, for stopping
having
by,
me,
man.
man. Thanks for having
Gracing the desk, man, with your knowledge of sport, with your captive voice. Bro, we appreciate you, my guy. Big time, man. No
appreciate
question
it,
about
man.
it, man.
Definitely,
Sherm
you
the
know.
Worm in the building, man. We got Bill Logan, man. Shout out Dre
Come
Bailey
back
in the
again,
building, man.
bro.
Please,
Thank you.
please
Thank
do
you.
not
Thank
hesitate to come back here, man.
Never.
You
Thank
do
you.
not have to call. Show up. Jose V on the boards, man. We appreciate you,
man.
homeboy. And look, man, if you're scared, you better go to church.
Church.